How's everyone doing? Box Office Monday. Of course, the only movie we're worried about right now is Justice League. It's past its third weekend, and according to Box Office Mojo, it's made $197 million domestically, $370 million foreign, has a grand total of $567 million. I know, quite the disaster. Quite the disaster that it's almost made $600 million already. And it's only been out for technically 17 days, 2.4 weeks. I mean, the drops are significant, but Batman vs. Superman had a worse drop. But it's looking like it's on pace to do what Man of Steel did, around the 650, between 650 and 700 million. That's what it looks like it's going to do. It's only got like 1 week left before Star Wars, so, once that movie comes out, it's going to fucking just kill anything for any other movie. So, that sucks, but, it's fine. This is fine. These numbers are fine. It's going to break 600 million. It's going to get close to 700 million. It's going to get really close. Domestically, it's going to get really close to 250. It might hit 250. It might not hit 250. It's going to get really close. Foreign, it should break 400 million, and it should get, 450, something like that. That's where it should end. It needs 700 million to break even. And that's not me, saying that. That's like a Forbes article saying that, you know what I'm saying? That's what Forbes says. And, they know a lot about, money and shit like that, so I'm not going to question Forbes. And I remember they had an article last year talking about Batman vs. Superman, and it needed to make 800 million to be a success, and it totally made 800 million, and everyone just ignored that fact. But Justice League, it's not going to be a success. It's going to, get lucky to break even, but definitely not a big enough flop to change what Warner Brothers is doing. Warner Brothers is not going to stop making superhero films because of this. That is, the most ridiculous thing I've seen so far, is people talking about, Warner Brothers is going to reboot this universe. They're going to scrap everything because Justice League didn't make $1 billion. It's, the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my fucking life. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? They've had 4 movies combined. They've made over $3 billion. They can take a hit on Justice League. They're going to come up a few million short of their goal probably. Just a few million. That's nothing to Warner Brothers. They're $1 billion studio. They're about to have a merger with AT&T. Time Warner's valued at $86 billion. You really think, even if it was $100 million loss on the film, that would be enough to affect Warner Brothers? That would be enough to affect what they're doing. Unreal, dude. It's fucking hysterical how people call this a disaster. Because it's so far from a disaster, right? Because we have examples of real disasters. Most notably, Green fucking Lantern. That movie cost over $300 million to make and advertise. And it only made $200 million in theaters. Do we understand what a disaster is now? You know what I'm saying? That movie didn't even make half of its budget back. If Justice League cost $300 million to make, $100 million to advertise, they only should need about $700 million to break even. So, Warner Brothers, they're not fucking sweating at all about Justice League. They knew they were going to take a hit. Do you really think Warner Brothers thought they were going to make $1 billion on this film with all the fucking shady behind the scenes shit that they did? That they know they did? They know they fucked over Zack Snyder? They know they were rushing out this film? Alright, they knew they weren't going to make $1 billion. No chance in hell. They fucking assumed it would make $1 billion. That's fucking ridiculous. Of course they knew they were going to take a hit on it, and they were just deciding if they wanted to take a hit on it now or take a hit on it in March. And they went with now because they get their fucking signing bonuses. They get their fucking bonus checks. That's why they fucking released it now. They didn't fucking care how much money Justice League made. They were just worried about their own fucking checks. And since all their other movies have been huge successes, Wonder Woman, Suicide Squad, Batman vs. Superman, huge financial successes. taking a small hit on Justice League doesn't matter at this point. They're going to continue their universe. They're going to continue with these characters. Aquaman will come out next year. Shazam will come out. They will be tied into this universe. They ain't fucking rebooting shit. For them to reboot, it would have to be like Green Lantern numbers. You know what I'm saying? And Justice League is clearly not. It's clearly making enough money right now. In fact, it's about to cross Iron Man, okay? It's about to cross all of the Phase 1 Marvel films, okay? I'll be surprised if it doesn't beat Man of Steel. I think it's possible for Justice League to hit $700 million. It all depends on the foreign market, because that's where the majority of their money is coming from. So hopefully that can help them get close to $700 million. So there's no need to be worried about Justice League 2. They're definitely making a second Justice League film. Okay, they're definitely doing that. They're definitely making Aquaman, obviously. They're definitely making Shazam. They're probably going to still do Suicide Squad 2. Yeah, this ain't going to slow them down at all. Because, with Green Lantern, with that huge disaster, box office disaster that movie was, what did Warner Brothers do? Alright? In 2011, Green Lantern was a huge disaster. What happened in 2012? They came out with The Dark Knight Rises. Okay? What happened in 2013? They came out with Man of fucking Steel. Okay? Green Lantern being a huge financial bomb didn't hurt Warner Brothers in the slightest. They still invested hundreds of millions of dollars in these other films, and they made money back on those films. Enough money to cover the damages of Green Lantern. Yeah, they're going to be hurting on Justice League, and they'll probably release an extended cut or a director's cut on home video, to save face and get fans back on their side. Because those are the people that pissed right now, the hardcore fans that liked fucking DC this whole time. So they have to make it up to them. So yeah, it's fucking ridiculous that people are still calling Justice League a disaster. It's making more money than most films make. You know what I'm saying? You know how many films make $1 billion every year? Like 4 or less than, okay? Sometimes no film makes $1 billion. Alright, this year we have 2 or 3 that have made $1 billion and that's it? To expect a movie to do that is crazy. It's crazy, and you shouldn't be fucking expecting that to happen. Unless there's huge, buzz going into it, which there wasn't for Justice League. Remember, every fucking buddy was already hating on it when the movie came out. Critics were hating on it. Of course, it's going to lose money. If critics just, liked it and gave it, a 60%, that's another $30 million it would have made opening weekend. It would be over $600 million right now. But since the fucking critical scores had to be so low, it lost out on easy money. So that's the box office for Justice League. It did alright this week. It's still on pace to pass Superman, to pass Man of Steel. Hopefully it will, or at least it will, tie it, I think that wouldn't be that bad if Justice League did just as good as Man of Steel. I mean, that's fine. It might do better than, Interstellar. That's fine, too. The only problem with Justice League is that it's not going to have a long theatrical run, because when Star Wars comes out, it's essentially going to end Justice League's run. I mean, I'd be surprised if Justice League gets 8 weeks in theaters. It should, at least. Batman vs. Superman got 12 weeks, and according to everybody, it's the worst film ever, but it's still got 12 weeks in theaters, so, whatever. Whatever. Right? 3 whole months in theaters. Oh, it's the worst film ever. People are so fucking ridiculous. But yeah, that's the situation with Justice League. It's looking fine. Warner Brothers is going to take a small hit, but it's nothing they can't handle. Okay, they're still investing hundreds of millions of dollars into these superheroes. They're going to keep making them Fantastic Beasts movies. You know what I'm saying? They're going to keep making all these big, huge budget films. Alright? One hit doesn't slow down a studio like Warner Brothers. But they need to really reconsider what they're doing. Because with Batman vs. Superman, they were making more money. And, can you imagine how much more money Batman vs. Superman would have made if critics gave it amazing reviews and it got an 80% or higher on Rotten Tomatoes? It would have broke $1 billion. So they tried to make a movie to appeal to critics. It backfired. Critics still didn't like it, and you lost even more money because the people that liked Batman vs. Superman, which is a lot of people, because the only way to make $800 million is to see the film multiple times. That's how a film makes 800. That's how a film makes $1 billion. People have to go see the film multiple times. Okay? And I don't even think Batman vs. Superman was released in China. You know what I'm saying? And it still made that much. Or it had like a small release in China. Like, it wasn't... I can't remember how much it made in China, but it wasn't that much compared to like the overall total it had. So yeah, we got one more week of Justice League. We'll see how much it has next week. Hopefully, it can get past Man of Steel. It's looking pretty good. It's definitely going to beat Iron Man, so that's something for you. Definitely going to beat Iron Man. Okay, enough of the maniacal laughing. Okay, I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.